The 1970s, an era of big engines, no rules, and pure American muscle. Before emissions and oil crisis tamed the beast, automakers were building the fastest, loudest, most brutal cars to ever hit the street. Today, we're taking a wild ride through the top 10 fastest and most brutal American cars of the 70s. The ones that defined horsepower and scared your neighbors. So buckle up, this isn't a list for the faint of heart. 10 in 1970 Buick GSX Stage 1. Number 10, the 1970 Buick GSX Stage 1. Don't let the Buick badge fool you. This was a street-legal brawler with a 455 cubic inch V8 making 510 pound-feet of torque, more than almost anything else in its time. 0 to 60 in under 6 seconds, quarter mile in the low 13s, and it had luxury features too. A gentleman's muscle car with the punch of a street fighter. 9 in 1971 AMC Javelin AMX 401. American Motors wasn't the biggest name, but their Javelin AMX 401 was a serious sleeper. With a 6.6-liter V8 under the hood, this car pushed out 335 horsepower, but many believe it was heavily underrated. It had muscle car DNA, Trans Am racing roots, and a shape that screamed aggression. Underrated, underhyped, but absolutely brutal on the road. 8 in 1973 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am SD455. This wasn't just a Firebird, it was the Super Duty version. A 455 cubic inch monster that defied the emissions era. Even in the early 70s, when horsepower ratings were falling, this car kept the spirit alive. 0 to 60 in about 5.5 seconds and a roar that scared everything on the block. Some call it the last true muscle car of the 70s. 7 in 1970 Ford Torino Cobra 429 SCJ. Number 7 is all about Ford Fury. The Torino Cobra with the 429 Super Cobra jet engine wasn't built for comfort. It was built to dominate. Rated at 375 horsepower, but insiders knew it pushed well over 400. Ram air, drag pack, and a Detroit attitude made this one of the quickest stock Fords of the decade. It was fast, violent, and rare, a true collector's monster today. 6 in 1970 Oldsmobile 442 W30. Oldsmobile? That's right. The 442 W30 was a torque-heavy beast with a 455 V8 and a 0 to 60 ton. 5. 1970 Dodge Challenger RT 426 HEMI. Now we are getting into dangerous territory. The 426 HEMI-powered Challenger RT was Dodge's answer to anyone crazy enough to take them on. Rated at 425 horsepower, but known to unleash much more. This car wasn't made for beginners. It was wild, hard to handle, and pure street domination. In the right hands, it could eat Ferraris for breakfast. 4. 1970 Plymouth Roadrunner Superbird. This car didn't just look crazy, it was born for NASCAR. The Superbird with the 426 HEMI engine was aerodynamic madness with a beak and a wing designed to shatter records. On the road it was fast and rare, less than 2,000 made, and often feared by local cops and rival drivers. It was loud, proud, and impossible to ignore. 3. 1970 Chevrolet Chevelle SS 454 LS6. Chevrolet wasn't playing. The LS6 Chevelle SS 454 remains one of the most brutal factory cars ever. 500 pound-feet of torque, 450 horsepower, and the 0 to 60 in under 5.5 seconds. In 1970, it had raw drag strip energy, big, loud, and unapologetic. It still sends chills down the spine of anyone who's ever heard one rev. 2. 1971 Plymouth HEMI Cuda. The HEMI Cuda, muscle car royalty. The 426 HEMI engine made it one of the most feared machines on the street. With only 11 convertible models made in 1971, it's also one of the rarest and most valuable muscle cars on earth. It had the looks, the sound, the speed, everything. Brutal? Absolutely. Iconic? Without question. 1. 1970 Dodge Charger RT 426 HEMI. And at number 1, the king of the jungle, the 1970 Dodge Charger RT 426 HEMI. This wasn't just a car, it was a force of nature. The 426 HEMI under the hood could put down over 425 horsepower, but tuners knew how to push it way beyond that. The Charger was big, aggressive, and iconic. It was the star of movies, the choice of rebels, and the stuff of legends. If you asked someone in 1970 what the most brutal car was, this was the answer.